Greetings, fellow radio enthusiasts. This is the Radio Dog channel, and my name is Tom, and thanks for joining me today. I am in the great outdoors. I'm in a local park right down the street from me, and thought I'd do a little radio video for you today. I've got a product review for you today. It's not a new product, however, it's an old product. It's the MLA-30 active loop antenna. So this is an antenna that I bought on eBay probably 3 years ago, and made a half-hearted attempt to put it together, but never really tried it. And it's basically been in pieces in various places in my house as I move it around. Most recently on a couple of shelves in my garage. So I thought I would get it out and see if this thing works. So you may, I'm sure it's been out a while and other people have talked about it. So the main bulk of the antenna, well, it's not really the bulk of it, the element, I should say, is this which is currently tangled, this extremely thin piece of wire for the loop. It's quite a bit lighter than even a coat hanger. It's extremely flimsy, and that goes into this box here. Now this doesn't come with this. You have to supply your own support for the loop, which is not a big deal. I just picked a piece of PVC and screwed it on, and but it comes with a ample supply of wire, cable I should say, connecting cable, and then it comes with this little it says biasing T, so there you go. So a couple of notes about this antenna before I even start and try it. First note is, of course, we know it's cheap. It's a cheap thing, and it feels cheap. It's super light and flimsy. I don't know if this thing would withstand the weather if left outside. I really have no idea. But it certainly gives you the impression of being a very cheaply made product, number one. Number two, it uses these, I think they're called, I'm sorry, wrong part. I think they're called SMA connections. I'm not 100% sure. I don't ever use these things. I think why they make these is because these connect to the El Cheapo, what do you call them, SDR radio, software-defined radio units. They may be more popular for like HTs and things like that. I don't know. I'm just not used to them. Maybe you are. But that's the first drawback. So immediately I lopped off the connection end of it, and my old trusty RCA cable, I just spliced in an old audio cable here at the end, which I think will do just fine, and it'll be easy to connect. All right, so that's anyway. So as you can probably tell, I'll find put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. As you can probably tell, I'm kind of biased already against this thing because I don't know. I know it's inexpensive. I know it's not, you know, for $35, $40. What do you expect? And maybe this thing works like gangbusters, and I hope it does, but I'm kind of inclined not to like it already, and which is probably the reason why it's been sitting in my garage now for the last couple of years, just in pieces, because I just haven't bothered to take the time to try it. But I'm going to try it today with you, and we'll see what we think. We're going to try it a bit on shortwave, and then we'll also try it. It's supposed to go down to, it says, 0.1 megahertz. So it's supposed to go down to medium wave. So we're gonna see if that works too. So let me get this thing put together, and I brought a pole here that I can kind of prop it up here next to my picnic table, and we're going to see if we can get anything on it. Okay, we've got this guy plugged in. I know you can't really see it up there, but it's there. It's on the top of this pole. Sorry, I can't give you a better view of it. I'll get a better angle maybe. There's a loop, and I just got it on a mast. So I forgot to mention one of the reasons I can't really incline not to like this thing is it needs a USB power, mini USB. So I've got it hooked up to like a charging battery, and it seems to be powered on okay. The ubiquity of these USB chargers and cables is just, I find, quite annoying. But anyway, it just seems like a battery pack would have been nicer. But there you go. I've got it ready to hook up, and let's get out a radio and give it a shot. Okay, so we've got this Texan PL600. It's a nice little portable. I don't get it out very often. And reliably here in the middle of the day, we've got Brother Stare coming in. So this is 9980. And this is without the MLA-30, so let's plug it in and see what we get. It definitely makes it louder, no question about it. So the increase is very good. Let's I'm going to tune down from here and see if I can find anything else. Of course, this is in the middle of the day, so oh, there's another preacher. Okay, 93.95. This is with the MLA-30 active. And let's unplug it and see what happens. So, good gain increase, but still a lot of noise, I think. Definitely increases the gain. I'm going to rotate this antenna. It's right next to me, and I can just turn it with my hand. See if that does anything to some of the noise. All right, I've turned it around a bit, and I didn't see much discernible difference. So, seems to be doing a pretty good job here. Let's try...
El Papa Francisco sexuales de menores dentro de la Iglesia, un fenómeno que eclesiales, para los cuales la prescripción del delito pasa de 5 a 7 años, mientras que para los clérigos
Here's a station that seems to be booming in without the extra antenna.
Y España es uno de los primeros epicentros de la pandemia del COVID-19. En ese país se está apresurando el proceso de vacunación de su población. Desde Barcelona el informe lo tiene Alfonso Beato.
España es uno de los pocos países cuyo programa nacional de vacunación tiene como objetivo llegar a todas las personas en su territorio, incluidos los inmigrantes cuyo estado se clasifica como irregular. Berta Well es investigadora del Centro de Relaciones Internacionales de Barcelona.
Okay, that's not too bad. So let's try it on some hams, some amateurs. So let's go down to 7200. And we'll put a single sideband on, and let's see what we can come up with. It's a station that's barely audible, but this is with the ML-30. Doesn't seem. It's coming in. It's just. It was such a weak station. Whoops! I'm still on the fast tuning, so it's. Not a whole lot active on the band this afternoon. Pretty darn quiet. All right, let's try just a time signal station. How about 15,000. Okay, that's obviously coming in nice and strong. Not too much difference. Now, I think probably where you will hear the biggest, where this will be most effective, is if you are indoors. And you have a way to hook this thing up outdoors. I think this would be the best situation. Would definitely make a big difference. Outdoors, just off the difference between this and the whip is really, seems to me, just in terms of gain. In other words, it just makes it louder. Doesn't really improve the signal, and it's still a pretty noisy signal, which I guess I'm not too surprised about. All right, so we're going to pause here, and we're going to see if we can pick up something on medium wave, and see if this thing works as advertised. All right, we are switched over to medium wave now, and I was playing with it a little bit. I've got, because this particular radio does not have a antenna input for medium wave, I brought this little loop. It's a little ferrite stick that came off the Sea Crane twin coil ferrite antenna, which the antenna doesn't work, but this thing still does. And so I'm basically running this as the coupling device from the MLA-30 antenna to the radio. So I am tuned to one of my standby, I guess you can call it a benchmark, fringe stations. This is 1570 WISP out of Doylestown, Pennsylvania. It's not too far away. I think it's about 35 miles away. But it is always just on the very fringe of being audible. Now here, I could If I rotate the radio, I can kind of hear something. It's not really very audible. So let's try. Okay, it definitely increases the gain by a long way, but brings up all the noise too. So it's not a pleasure to listen to. And I'm going to try to rotate the antenna a little bit. Okay, well, it definitely seems to be doing something. As just kind of a something to compare it to, I brought my Texan loop, and I am going to show you the difference that this thing can make. Try it over on this side.
To bring people back home, and that is Saint Teresa of Calcutta, Mother Teresa.
Now that loop, which is a passive loop, does a wonderful job. It definitely brings up the gain, but doesn't, nulls out the noise. Let's try it over here.
Saint Teresa of Calcutta, to help with your brother,
That's not bad. And without the antenna, and let's go back to the seems to take out a good bit of that noise. Although it's not too bad. So, I don't know if that was conclusive in any way. As I pull this thing apart, this is the MLA-30 active loop antenna. I guess my conclusion is I'm not going to be bothered with it. It's I could test this again. I was thinking about putting it up against the my Sony AN1 antenna, which I rather like. But I just, like I said from the beginning, this thing would have to really do an outstanding job for me to make me want to endure the wires, the clumsiness, the build quality, and I just don't feel like it does that. It just it amplifies everything, including the noise floor. And yeah, so that's my cheap assessment. You may find otherwise. You may like this antenna, you may love it, and it might be just perfect for you in the right situation. If you desperately need an outdoor antenna and you don't have space to put up something bigger, maybe it meets your needs perfectly and does what you need it to do. And that's great. So I can't tell you not to get it, certainly, but for me, it's just it's another toy that I'm probably just going to throw back in the box and forget about for a while. It doesn't. I guess with radios, and I guess to a certain degree with antennas, there's an elegance, I think, that I I hope for and I strive for. That this thing is inelegant in a lot of different ways, and it just doesn't work all that great in my opinion. So that's my little review, the MLA-30. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you aren't a subscriber yet, I know there's a few of you out there that haven't subscribed. Please do, and check out some of my other videos. And thanks so much for watching, and thanks for your very kind and insightful comments. I look forward to reading them. So until next time, be well.